so our first step is going to be to remove the battery. So we have an 8mm ratcheting wrench here, or you can use the socket. So we're going to remove this one here for the negative side. Move that out of the way. Then we're going to come over to the driver's side, and we went ahead and broke that loose. So now we can remove this terminal. Move it out of the way. And the battery is held down with a tie down, which is also an 8mm. So we went ahead and we loosened this up. And now that wedge can come out. And now we can just pull the battery straight out. Okay, so we removed the battery. Next we came in and took out the 3 8mm bolts here for the battery tray. And now that will lift right out. Okay, so now from the passenger side, we have access to the O2 sensor. And so we're going to unplug that. You just push down on that tab on the white part of it and separate it, and that unplugs it. Okay, so this O2 is being spread apart right now. I just want to show you a trick that I use. I put a screwdriver in right here, and so when I push down on that tab, with the screwdriver you just turn it sideways like that and just pry it apart, and then it will move that green part away so that you can separate it. Okay, next we lifted the car up into the air. And so we supported it on jack stands right here on the support beam. That's where we lifted with the jack. And so we have our jack stands on each side there, and that's going to be giving us enough space to work up in the front. Okay, so from underneath the car we're going after the exhaust bolts here. On this car it's 19mm. Don't know if that's aftermarket or not. Seems a little big, but anyway. We got 2 on this side and 2 on this side. So just remember, make sure the battery is disconnected, because we're near the starter and there's power going to the starter, and even if you get anything metal up in there, it'll make sparks fly if the battery's still connected. And feel free to use liquid wrench on these exhaust bolts. With all the heat that they see, they can get pretty stubborn. So you can go ahead and spray those down, let them soak for a minute. Okay, and then the top exhaust bolt can be reached from the passenger side if you want to get on at the back end. Otherwise it's kind of hard to get past the O2 sensor from underneath the car. Okay, the rear O2 sensor is unplugged the same way. You push down on this tab here. If you put a screwdriver right in between there and kind of twist it, it'll help separate it. So we're going to undo both of the ones back here. Okay, now your mid pipe should unbolt in the back. This was welded, so unfortunately I had to cut it. But once you unbolt it from the back and you have the O2 sensors all unplugged like we showed you earlier, you can pull this whole mid pipe out from underneath the car.